Yo, what's up, guys? In today's video, I got a bunch of Chicago Bulls NBA draft news and rumors. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about every draft prospect that the Chicago Bulls have worked out. Also talking about and breaking down a few of their draft profiles, talking about all the rumors surrounding the NBA draft, about how the Bulls could trade their draft pick, and also about how the Chicago Bulls could buy a second-round draft pick. But before I jump into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also leave a quick like below today's video. It takes a second and helps me out a lot. And some comments and questions below today's video. What you guys want and expect the Chicago Bulls to do in this upcoming draft. But either way, let's just jump right into today's video because it's finally NBA draft week and I can't believe that. Also, just a quick little heads up, I'll definitely have a video out Thursday night for the NBA draft and probably also videos out the next few days after the draft. But either way, the Chicago Sun-Times put out an article and the Bulls beat writer Joe Cowley, he was doing a mock draft and just naming a bunch of draft prospects for the Chicago Bulls. And I'm going to break down that article and many more articles and rumors in today's video. But let me just give a quick shout out to Hoops Hype. They did put out an article on this website. It has every draft prospect that the Chicago Bulls have worked out. And something that I have noticed that is kind of odd is that the Chicago Bulls have been working out more second-round draft prospects than first-round prospects. And it's kind of interesting because the Bulls have a first-round draft pick with the 18th overall draft pick, but they do not have a second-rounder. And not too long ago, Casey Johnson was on the Bulls Talk podcast talking about how he could see the Bulls front office buying a second-rounder. And honestly, that wouldn't surprise me because this Bulls team is very limited with assets if they want to trade or make some moves in this free agency class. So I feel like buying a second-round draft pick could be really smart. But either way, the Bulls have been working out a bunch of draft prospects. I'll make sure to throw up this picture of all the names. I'm going to talk about a few right now. They have worked out Mark Williams. I know he's a fan favorite, and he's, I'd say, linked to the Chicago Bulls in a lot of NBA mock drafts. They've also worked out Tari Eason, Blake Wesley. Check out my last video. I broke down his game and talked about his whole situation and how he could fit with the Bulls. They also worked out EJ Liddell, and I know a lot of Bulls fans are really high in him, and I want to include myself. I'm going to be breaking down his game in just a few minutes. They also worked out Kendall Brown, a potential second-rounder. Dominic Barlow, that I'm going to break down his game later in today's video. Teddy Allen, Kai Sato. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. I know a lot of Bulls fans are really high in him as well. But the Bulls have been really busy. Like I said, they've been working out more second-rounders than first-rounders. And according to Daniel Greenberg and Joe Cowley, a Bulls insider, he did put out this article not too long ago. And he said just the other day, NBA draft prospect EJ Liddell had a very impressive workout with the Chicago Bulls. And that makes me very happy because my number one draft prospect is EJ Liddell. Obviously, I do believe the Bulls need more of a center, but I'm not really for drafting for need. Obviously, that's never the best way to go. It's always about drafting best player available, but you never know on draft night what's going to happen. But in most mock drafts, the Bulls are drafting EJ Liddell, and I'm very happy with that. I feel like he would fit perfect on this roster and honestly help from day one. He is a 6'7", small forward or power forward. He does weigh 240 pounds. And for this past season for Ohio State, he played really well. Obviously, he was the best player on that team. And in 32 games played, he did average about 33 minutes a night. And in those 33 minutes, he did average 20 points per game, 8 rebounds, and about 3 assists. Also about a steal and 3 blocks per game. He also did shoot about 50% from the field and 37% from three-point range and 77% from the free throw line. I believe he'd be a perfect fit, and if he's there at the 18th overall draft pick, I really hope the Chicago Bulls do draft him. His NBA draft comparison has been compared to Patrick Williams, and I believe Patrick Williams is a great power forward for this roster already. I just hope he can stay healthy for this next season, and I feel like EJ Liddell would really push Patrick Williams even more. Drafting another small forward or power forward would really push Patrick Williams in my opinion. I feel like he's just a perfect fit for this Bulls roster. And another prospect that the Bulls have been linked to and shown a lot of draft interest recently is Dominic Barlow. And Barlow has reportedly had many conversations with the Chicago Bulls, and he also had a workout with them. And Dominic, he's a very interesting draft prospect. He is a 6'9", small forward or power forward. He did play for the Overtime Elite. That is a G League team, and he does weigh 214 pounds. He is projected anywhere from a second-round draft pick to undrafted. And to keep it short and simple, Dominic is just an athlete. He's a combo forward that played in the Overtime Elite League this year. He also got invited to the 2022 NBA Draft Combine, and he will be making a significant jump to try and play in the NBA, and he will need to show that he can play well against upper-tier opponents. But no matter what, he's still super young, super lengthy, and I believe he'd be a nice second-round draft pick for the Chicago Bulls. He is a 6'9" small forward, and on the season, he did play pretty solid, and he did average about 25 minutes a night, averaging 15 points per game, shooting about 53% from the field and 36% from three-point range, and 77% from the free throw line, also averaging 6 rebounds, about 2 assists, about a steal, and about a block per game as well. But in my opinion, I really like EJ Liddell. It wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls did trade down or trade their pick. There has been a lot of trade rumors that just came out about how the Bulls and rival NBA teams really don't believe the Chicago Bulls are in love with many draft prospects at the 18th overall draft pick. And at the end of the day, I truly do believe the Bulls are going to keep this pick and just draft someone like Mark Williams or EJ Liddell. But no matter what, I mean, you can never really believe any of these rumors that come out because Arturas and Mark Eversley, they always have something in their back pocket. It wouldn't surprise me if they do trade up for a prospect they really like. It also wouldn't surprise me if they just kept the 18th overall draft pick and drafted a win-now player that can just contribute right away, or maybe trade down, or maybe even buy a second rounder. I mean, in my opinion, I really do expect the Bulls to draft EJ Liddell or maybe Mark Williams if he is available at the 18th overall draft pick. I mean, that is a big if because Mark Williams, his measurements are more, I'd say, NBA ready than most draft prospects in this upcoming draft. And obviously, he's a very good defensive center, and there's plenty of defensive upside still about him. I mean, NBC Sports Chicago did put out an article not too long ago breaking down Mark Williams' game. You know, he is a center for Duke. He's only 20 years old. He is 7'2". He does weigh 240 pounds, and he does have a 7'6" wingspan. He had the longest wingspan at the NBA Draft Combine, and he's just a defensive monster. I believe he'd be a great pickup for this team, and I believe he could be a really good starting center in the near future. Obviously, the whole Vooch situation is kind of up in the air right now. He's getting up there in age. He's on a 1-year contract. There's been a lot of rumors about how the Bulls could shop him and possibly trade him for Rudy Gobert. But if I had to bet money on what happens Thursday night, I would bet the Bulls just keep their 18th overall draft pick, draft a player that can help win now and contribute now, and then maybe buy a second rounder. Like I've said in past videos, this Bulls team is pretty limited with assets in this near future, especially if they're trying to win an NBA championship. You know, drafting a player with 18th overall draft pick would be my best bet. Let me know below today's video what you guys want and expect the Chicago Bulls to do this Thursday at the NBA draft. I'll definitely have videos out all weekend long. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.